up every day feels boring. The same thing, routine in the morning. Grew up too fast without warning. And when it rains it's pouring. I got dreams, big dreams. I wanna do big things, but I just can't seem to put it all together. I just wanna be seen. I'm jumping ship, I'ma dive in. Middle of the ocean, swimming till I find it. I see an island, out ahead, filled with things that I've wanted since I was a kid. Swim to it.
Hey. Welcome. Hey, Dave. Hey, Rhodey. Hey, Crystal. Amber, Sweet One, True Texan. How you guys doing tonight? Sweet One, I hope you're feeling good. And I do want you to know that it's very, very, very rare that it would be permanent. So keep positive thoughts. If I could beat cancer in 6 months, you can heal. Promise. So how's everyone doing? I hope good. So I just want everyone to know that I've come to the conclusion the community has lost its motherfucking mind. And I mean hardcore. Hardcore. But we're going to touch on a couple of things. All right. Trump is giving a speech. Is it any good? We can watch Trump's speech. Hold on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we will do it right. We're going to do it right. Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened. And you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration.
You might want to start packing, Selma.
I'm very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage. These are great people at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that. The amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place on that terrible evening.
Okay. Now, I don't know who is just crying, but why are people that aren't relatives of his crying? That's so fucking weird to me.
In the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede, but not in this case. It's very unusual. This massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely, but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was a sniper, and then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding, many lives were saved. But that isn't the reason that they didn't move. The reason is that they knew I was in very serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually, most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that. I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but.
Okay, maybe because the guy sitting behind you got his head blown off. That could be why there was so much blood. Just saying.
They just, this beautiful crowd, they didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me. And you can see that love written all over their faces. They're incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. Yeah. Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God. In watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over, but I could see it, and I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised.
All right, in all fairness, I can't understand people that weren't right near him saw him go down and they saw blood. So yeah, I believe that they probably thought he was dead. That part I do believe.
My right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." Thank you. Once my clenched fist went up, and it was high into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd I have ever heard before. Never heard anything like it. For the rest of my life, I will be grateful for the love shown by that giant audience of patriots that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania. Tragically, the shooter claimed the life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey Comparator. Unbelievable person, everybody tells me. Unbelievable. And seriously wounded, two other great warriors. Spoke to them today. David Dutch and James Copenhaver. Two great people. I also spoke to all three families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them, and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious Trumpsters, I want to tell you. They were serious Trumpsters and still are. But Corey, unfortunately, we have to use the past tense. He was incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody. Was accompanied by his wife, Helen, incredible woman. I spoke to her today, devastated, and two precious daughters. He lost his life selflessly acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was. I want to thank the fire department and the family for sending his helmet, his outfit, and It was just something, and they're going to do something very special when they get it. But we did something which cannot match what happened, not even close. But I am very proud to say that over the past few days, we've raised $6.3 million for the families of David, James, and Corey, including from a friend of mine just called up. He sent me a check right here. I just got it. $1 million from Dan Newland. Thank you, Dan. And again, when speaking to the family, I told them, I said, well, I'm going to be sending you a lot of money, but it can't compensate. They all said the same thing. You're right, sir. We appreciate so much what you're doing, but nothing can take the place in the case of Corey and the other two. By the way, they were very, very.
Obviously, nothing can take place of the husband, but a couple of $1 million won't hurt. I think that's great. And that I'm not going to thank Trump for that because that's like America that did that. But I think that's amazing. I really do. I think that's great.
Very seriously injured, but now they're doing very well. They're going to be okay. They're going to be doing very well. They're warriors. So now I ask that we observe a moment of silence in honor of our friend Corey. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for others. This is the spirit that forged America in her darkest hours. And this is the love that will lead America back to the summit of human achievement and greatness. This is what we need. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than ever. I am more determined than ever, and so are you. So is everybody in this room. Thank you very much.
Yep, here's the thing. I think Trump is a fucking narcissistic asshole. There's no question about it. But are you going to tell me Biden is better? Absolutely not. Biden didn't even acknowledge the guy that died, let alone raise $6 million for him. Or I'm sure like the other two families that got hurt, I'm sure they're going to get $1 million apiece. But I mean, it's hard enough losing your spouse, your dad, but it does make it a little easier with $4 million in your pocket. Just saying.
Our resolve is unbroken and our purpose is unchanged to deliver a government that serves the American people better than ever before. Nothing will stop me in this mission because our vision is righteous and our cause is pure. No matter what obstacle comes our way, we will not break, we will not bend, we will not back down, and I will never stop fighting for you, your family, and our magnificent country. Never.
He did. He did tonight pretty well.
And everything I have to give with all of the energy and fight in my heart and soul, I pledge to our nation tonight. Thank you very much. I pledge that to our nation. We're going to turn our nation around, and we're going to do it very quickly. Thank you. This election should be about the issues facing our country and how to make America successful, safe, free, and great again. In an age when our politics too often divide us, now is the time to remember that we are all fellow citizens. We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we must not criminalize dissent or demonize political disagreement, which is what's been happening in our country lately at a level that nobody has ever seen before. In that spirit, the Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy. Especially since that is not true. In fact, I am the one saving democracy for the people of our country. And very big news, as you probably just read, on Monday, a major ruling was handed down from a highly respected federal judge in Florida, Eileen Cannon, finding that the prosecutor and the fake documents case against me were totally unconstitutional, and the entire case was thrown out of court. With all of that publicity, thrown out of court. If Democrats want to unify our country, they should drop these partisan witch hunts, which I have been going through for approximately 8 years. And they should do that without delay and allow an election to proceed that is worthy of our people. We're going to win it anyway, but worthy of our people. On this journey, I am deeply honored to be joined by my amazing wife, Melania. And Melania, thank you very much. You also did something really beautiful, a letter to America calling for national unity, and it really took the Republican Party by surprise. I will tell you, it was beautiful. In fact, some very serious people said that we should take that letter and put it as part of the Republican platform. That would be an honor, wouldn't it? Right, Mr. Congressman? But it captivated so many. So I also want to thank my entire family for being here. Don, Kimberly, Ivanka and Jared, Eric and Lara, Tiffany and Michael, Barron. We love our Barron. And of course, my 10 wonderful grandchildren. You saw a few of them up there on my lap before. And how good was Dana? Was Dana good? I mean, was he good? He was on probably the only vacation he's had in about maybe ever, because he works, but about 10 years with his wife, very far away. I won't tell you where, but very, very far away, beautiful place. And my people called and he said, I won't be able to do it. This is many, many years. I promised my wife I can't do it. And they came in, they said, Dana won't be able to do it because he was my first, second, and third choice. I said, well, that's too bad, but I understand he's away and it's good. It's good for him. And that was it. About 30 minutes later, she came back in, sir, Dana just called, he's going to do it. And his wife, she said, you can't turn him down. You just can't do it. You have to go. That's a good wife. So he got on a plane. He got here a little while ago. Now he's going to get on the plane in a little while and he's going to go back home to his wife. But they're great. And I just want to thank her and him and their whole family because that's not easy. And Kid Rock, same thing. Called, he said, I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part because, Kid does his great song, big, big monster song. I had no idea. He became a friend of mine over the last 10 years. And he's amazing. Everyone loves him. I didn't even know how big he was. He has rallies, 35, 40,000 people he gets every time he goes out. I think he's making so much money, he doesn't know what the hell to do with it. You want to know? And then we have my other friend, and I've known him so long, and we took that song, and it was a big success, but we made that. I saw a chart of great songs to America. That was #1 on the chart recently, #1. So that's Lee Greenwood, a very special, beautiful person. He's a beautiful man. But they all wanted to be here. They called. And how about the Hulkster? How good was he? Is he up? Where is he? Boy, oh boy. They may call that entertainment. I know about entertainment, but when he used to lift a 350-pound man over his shoulders and then bench press him 2 rows into the audience, I say maybe entertainment, but he is one strong son of a gun. I will tell you, I watched it many times. There aren't a lot of entertainers that can do that, right? You were fantastic. Thank you very much. Followed by Eric. What was that all about? Boy, that was good. I didn't want to really come up here. But he was so great, and he's such a good young man. He went through a lot of trouble, and Don last night was incredible. They went through so much trouble. They got subpoenaed more than any people probably in the history of the United States. Every week they get another subpoena from the Democrats, crazy Nancy Pelosi, the whole thing, just boom, boom, boom. They've got to stop that because they're destroying our country. We have to work on making America great again, not on beating people. And we won. We beat them and all. We beat them on the impeachments. We beat them on indictments. We beat them. But the time that you have to spend, if they would devote that genius to helping our country, we'd have a much stronger and better country. And Jason, the biggest star in country music. Jason, thank you for being here. Jason, thank you very much. Jason Aldean, he's good. I like his wife even better, by the way. She's here. Thank you, Jason. But I'm thrilled to have a new friend and partner fighting by my side. The next Vice President of the United States, the current Senator from Ohio, J.D. Vance, and his incredible wife, Usha. He's going to be a great Vice President. He's going to be great. He'll be with this country and with this movement, greatest movement in the history of our country. Make America great again.
How old is J.D. Vance? He looks young. Like, he looks like he's in his 30s, maybe early 40s.
Again, when they criticize it, they say, we're going to try and stop MAGA. I said, MAGA is making America great again. What are you going to stop? There's nothing to stop. Then they say, oh, that's right. It's very tough to fight it. And all of the people that did try.
Yeah, I know my ages.
But he's going to be with us for a long time. And it was an honor to select him. Great, great student at Yale. His wife was a great student at Yale. They met at Yale. These are two smart people. So, JD, you're going to be doing this for a long time. Enjoy the ride. And a very special thank you to the extraordinary people of Milwaukee and the great state of. Oh, there they are. There they are. You are so easy to spot. And Green Bay's going to have a good team this year, right? They're going to have a good team. They're going to have a good team. Most of the audience doesn't like it, but it's true. You're going to have a very good team this year. And nobody in this audience, but it does happen a lot. They're terminally ill and they can't use our new space age drugs and other things that we are way ahead. We have the greatest doctors in the world, the greatest laboratories in the world, and you can't do it. They've been trying to get that approved for 52 years. Wasn't that easy? The insurance companies didn't want to do it. They didn't want the risk. The labs didn't want to do it because if it didn't work, people are pretty far down the line toward death. They didn't want to do it. The doctors didn't want to have it on their records. So I got everybody into an office. 52 years they tried. Sounds simple, but it's not.
You know what's always annoyed me about him? The way he speaks, the way his mouth moves is so annoying.
And I got them to agree that somebody that needs it will, instead of going to Asia, Europe, or someplace, or if you have no money going home and dying, just die. We got them to sign an agreement, agree to it, where they're not going to sue anybody. They're going to get all of this stuff. They're going to get it really fast. And what's happened is we're saving thousands and thousands of lives. It's incredible. Right to try. It's a great feeling. Under our leadership, the United States will be respected again. No nation will question our power. No enemy will doubt our might. Our borders will be totally secure. Our economy will soar. We will return law and order to our streets, patriotism to our schools, and importantly, we will restore peace, stability, and harmony all throughout the world. But to achieve this future, we must first rescue our nation from failed and even incompetent leadership. We have totally incompetent leadership. This will be the most important election in the history of our country. Under the current administration, we are indeed a nation in decline. We have an inflation crisis that is making life unaffordable, ravaging the incomes of working and low-income families, and just simply crushing our people like never before. They've never seen anything like it. We also have an illegal.
Okay, nobody can argue that because that is true.
Immigration crisis, and it's taking place right now as we sit here in this beautiful arena. It's a massive invasion at our southern border that has spread misery, crime, poverty, disease, and destruction to communities all across our land. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Then there's an international crisis, the likes of which the world has seldom been part of. Nobody can believe what's happening. War is now raging in Europe and the Middle East. A growing specter of conflict hangs over Taiwan.
Aussie girl, I said the exact same thing. And I said this when he won in 2016. He is way too narcissistic to lose. He's way too narcissistic to not do what he says he's going to do. So I completely agree with you.
Korea, the Philippines, and all of Asia, and our planet is teetering on the edge of World War III. And this will be a war like no other war because of weaponry. The weapons are no longer army tanks going back and forth shooting at each other. These weapons are obliteration. It's time for a change. This administration can't come close to solving the problems. We're dealing with very tough, very fierce people. They're fierce people. And we don't have fierce people. We have people that are a lot less than fierce, except when it comes to cheating on elections and a couple of other things. Then they're fierce. Then they're fierce. So tonight, I make this pledge to the great people of America. I will end the devastating inflation crisis immediately, bring down interest rates, and lower the cost of energy. We will drill baby drill. Can you believe what they're doing? But by doing that, we will lead a large scale decline in prices. Prices will start to come down. Energy raised it. They took our energy policies and destroyed them. Then they immediately went back to them. But by that time, so much was lost. But we will do it at levels that nobody's ever seen before. And we'll end lots of different things. We'll start paying off debt and start lowering taxes even further. We gave you the largest tax cut. We'll do it more. You know, people don't realize I brought taxes way down, way down, and yet we took in more revenues the following year than we did when the tax rate was much higher. Most people said, how did you do that? Because it was incentive. Everybody was coming to the country. They were bringing back billions and billions of dollars into our country. The companies made it impossible to bring it back. The tax rate was too high.
I haven't yet, Aussie girl, but that is a great idea around election time. Excellent idea.
And the legal complications were far too great. I changed both of them, and hundreds of billions of dollars by Apple and so many other companies were brought back into our nation, and we had an economy the likes of which no nation had ever seen. China, we were beating them at levels that were incredible. And they know it. They know it. We'll do it again, but we'll do it even better. I will end the illegal immigration crisis by closing our border and finishing the wall, most of which I've already built. On the wall, we were dealing with a very difficult Congress. And I said, oh, that's okay. We won't go to Congress. I call it an invasion. We gave our military almost $800 billion. I said, I'm going to take a little of that money because this is an invasion. And we built, most of the wall is already built. And we built it through using the funds because what's better than that? We have to stop the invasion into our country that's killing hundreds of thousands of people a year. We're not going to let that happen. I will end every single international crisis that the current administration has created, including the horrible war with Russia and Ukraine, which would have never happened if I was president, and the war caused by the attack on Israel, which would have never happened if I was president. Iran was broke. Iran had no money. Now Iran has $250 billion. They made it all over the last 2.5 years. They were broke. I watched the other day on a show called Deface the Nation. Has anyone seen it? And they had a congressman who was a Democrat say, well, whether you like him or not, Iran was broke dealing with Trump. I told China and other countries, if you buy from Iran, we will not let you do any business in this country, and we will put tariffs on every product you do send in of 100% or more. And they said to me, well, I think that's about it. They weren't going to buy any oil. And they were ready to make a deal. Iran was going to make a deal with us. And then we had that horrible, horrible result that we'll never let happen again. The election result, we're never going to let that happen again. They used COVID to cheat. We're never going to let it happen again. And they took off all the sanctions and they did everything possible for Iran. And now Iran is very close to having a nuclear weapon, which would have never happened. This is a shame what this administration, the damage that this administration has done. And I say it often, if you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States, think of it, the 10 worst, added them up, they will not have done the damage that Biden has done. Only going to use the term once. Biden, I'm not going to use the name anymore, just one time. The damage that he's done to this country is unthinkable. It's unthinkable. Together we will restore vision, strength, competence, and we're going to have a thing called common sense making most of our decisions, actually. It's all common sense. Just a few short years ago, under my presidency, we had the most secure border and best economy in the history of our country, in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had never done anything like it. We were beating every country, including China, by leaps and bounds. Nobody had seen anything like it. We had no inflation, soaring incomes were going. Nobody can believe it. You can't believe what happened 4 years ago is happening now in reverse. And the world was at peace. Inflation has been a killer for our country. No matter what you make it doesn't matter, because inflation is eating you alive. People that were putting away money, they were making great wages, the highest they've ever made, but they were putting away a lot of money. Now they are just being destroyed. They're not putting away anything. They're barely living. They're going into savings accounts. They're taking out their money to live because of inflation. Inflation, remember, it's called a country buster. You can go back to Germany from 100 years ago. You can go back to any country that suffered great inflation. We've suffered the worst inflation we've ever had. But go back and see what's happened to those countries. We've had the worst inflation we've ever had under this person. But in less than 4 years, our opponents have turned incredible success into unparalleled tragedy and failure. It's been a tremendous failure. Today, our cities are flooded with illegal aliens. Americans are being squeezed out of the labor force and their jobs are taken. By the way, you know who's taking the jobs that are created? 107% of those jobs are taken by illegal aliens. And you know who's being hurt the most by millions of people pouring into our country? The Black population and the Hispanic population, because they're taking the jobs from our Black population, our Hispanic population, and they're also taking them from unions. The unions are suffering because of it. Thank you. Thank you. I like you too. Thank you very much. Inflation has wiped out the life savings of our citizens and forced the middle class into a state of depression and despair. That's what it is. It's despair and depression. We cannot and will not let this continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. We're going to be a great nation again. Thank you. With proper leadership, every disaster we are now enduring will be fixed, and it will be fixed very, very quickly. So tonight, whether you've supported me in the past or not, I hope you will support me in the future, because I will bring back the American dream. That's what we're going to do. You don't even hear about the American dream anymore. With great humility, I am asking you to be excited about the future of our country. Be excited. Be excited. And by the way, the news reports, look at all of those big networks. Look at them. They're all here. But every one of them has said this could be the most organized, best run, and most enthusiastic convention of either party that they've ever seen. Every single one. And it's true. It's true. And there's love in the room. There's great love in the room. So I better finish strong. Otherwise, we'll blow it. And we can't let that happen. Now, this was great. All of the great people that spoke, and everybody hit a home run. I mean, there's not one that I can think of where I said, oh, gee, that wasn't great. Every single person. I refuse to be the only one. Don't do that to me. They're already getting ready. See, I gave them an idea. Now, this was a great convention. This was, I think we're actually going to go home and miss it. You know, usually with a first of all, look at these crowds. You'd never have this at a convention. Look at these crowds. Love, it's about love. This week, the entire Republican Party has formally adopted an agenda for America's renewal, and you saw that agenda, and it's very short compared to the long, boring, meaningless agendas of the past, including the Democrats. They write these things that are hundreds of pages long, and they never read them after they're done. In their case, fortunately, they don't read them because they're pretty bad. It's a series of bold promises that we will swiftly implement when you give us a Republican House. And Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. We have our great Speaker of the House with us tonight. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Thank you. A Republican Senate, we have many senators here. And send me back to our beautiful White House just a few short months from now. We're talking about just months. It can't come fast enough. We have to get it done. First, we must get economic relief to our citizens. Starting on day one, we will drive down prices and make America affordable again. We have to make it affordable. It's not affordable. People can't live like this. Under this administration, our current administration, groceries are up 57%, gasoline is up 60 and 70%, mortgage rates have quadrupled. And the fact is, it doesn't matter what they are because you can't get the money anyway. Can't buy houses. Young people can't get any financing to buy a house. The total household costs have increased an average of $28,000 per family under this administration. Republicans have a plan to bring down prices and bring them down very, very rapidly. By slashing energy costs, we will in turn reduce the cost of transportation, manufacturing, and all household goods. So much starts with energy. And remember, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country by far. We are a nation that has the opportunity to make an absolute fortune with its energy. We have it, and China doesn't. Under the Trump administration, just 3.5 years ago, we were energy. Give you more, and it's going to lead to tremendous growth. We want growth in our country. That's what's going to pay off our debt. And next, we will end the ridiculous and actually incredible waste of taxpayer dollars that is fueling the inflation crisis. They've spent trillions of dollars on things having to do with the Green New Scam. It's a scam. And that's caused tremendous inflationary pressures in addition to the cost of energy. And all of the trillions of dollars that are sitting there not yet spent, we will redirect that money for important projects like roads, bridges, dams, and we will not allow it to be spent on meaningless green new scam ideas. And I will end the electric vehicle mandate on day one. Thereby saving the U.S. auto industry from complete obliteration, which is happening right now, and saving U.S. customers thousands and thousands of dollars per car. And right now, as we speak, large factories just started, are being built across the border in Mexico. So with all the other things happening on our border, and they're being built by China to make cars and to sell them into our country. No tax, no anything. The United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed for allowing this to happen. And the leader of the United Auto Workers should be fired immediately. And every single auto worker, union and non-union, should be voting for Donald Trump because we're going to bring back car manufacturing and we're going to bring it back fast. They're building some of the largest auto plants anywhere in the world. Think of it, in the world. We're going to bring it back. We're going to make them. We don't mind that happening, but those plants are going to be built in the United States, and our people are going to man those plants. And if they don't agree with us, we'll put a tariff of approximately 100 to 200% on each car, and they will be unsellable in the United States. We have long been taken advantage of by other countries. And think of it, oftentimes these other countries are considered so-called allies. They've taken advantage of us for years. We lose jobs, we lose revenue, and they gain everything and wipe out our businesses, wipe out our people. I stopped it for 4 years. I stopped it. And we're really ready to make changes like nobody had seen before. And remember, USMCA, I got rid of NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with USMCA, which is, they say, the best trade deal ever made. Actually, probably the best trade deal was the deal I made with China, where they buy $50 billion worth of our product. They were buying nothing. They buy $50 billion worth. They had to. But I don't even talk about it because of COVID. I don't even mention it, frankly, because of what happened with the China virus. We will not let countries come in, take our jobs, and plunder our nation. They come and do that. They plunder our nation. The way they will sell their product in America is to build it in America. Very simple. Build it in America and only in America. And this very simple formula, and Congress has to go along with us, and they will. This very simple formula will create massive numbers of jobs. We will take over the auto industry again, and many, many hundreds of thousands of jobs. We lost so many jobs over the years. If you go back 20, 25 years, they've stolen, going to China and Mexico, about 68% of our auto industry manufacturing jobs. We're going to get them all back. We're going to get them all back, every one of them. At the center of our plan for economic relief are massive tax cuts for workers that include something else that's turned out to be very popular, actually. Here it's very popular in this building and all those hotels that I saw that are so nice. I'm staying in a nice one. It's called no tax on tips. No tax on tips. No tax on tips. I got that by having dinner recently in Nevada, where we're leading by about 14 points. Hello. I'll see you there very soon, everybody. And we're having dinner at a beautiful restaurant in the Trump building on the Strip. And it's a great building. And the waitress comes over. How's everything going? A really nice person. How's everything? Oh, sir, it's so tough. The government's after me all the time on tips, tips, tips. I said, well, they give you cash. Would they be able to find him? She said, actually, and I didn't know this. She said, very little cash is given. It's all put right on the check. And they come in and they take so much of our money. It's just ridiculous. And they don't believe anything we say. And they've just hired, as you know, 88,000 agents to go after them even more. And I said, this shows the level of my, most people go out, they hire consultants, they pay millions of dollars. But I said to her, let me just ask you a question. Would you be happy if you had no tax on tips? She said, what a great idea. I got my information from a very smart waitress. That's better than spending millions of dollars. And everybody loves it. Waitresses and caddies and drivers and everybody's a large group of people that are being really hurt badly. They make money, let them keep their money. I'm going to protect Social Security and Medicare. Democrats are going to destroy Social Security and Medicare because all of these people, by the millions they're coming in, they're going to be on Social Security and Medicare and other things, and you're not able to afford it. They are destroying your Social Security and your Medicare Under my plan, incomes will skyrocket, inflation will vanish completely, jobs will come roaring back, and the middle class will prosper like never, ever before, and we're going to do it very rapidly. But no hope or dream we have for America can succeed unless we stop the illegal immigrant invasion, the worst that's ever been seen anywhere in the world. There's never been an invasion like this anywhere. Third world countries would fight with sticks and stones not to let this happen. The invasion at our southern border, we will stop it, and we will stop it quickly. You heard Tom Homan yesterday. Tom Homan, put him in charge and just sit back and watch. Brandon Judd, the Border Patrol, he's incredible. These guys, they really, their job is a lot easier if they don't have to do anything, but they want to. They're patriots. Brandon Judd, Border Patrol, ICE. ICE goes out. You have to see what ICE does with MS-13. You have these are probably the worst gang, and ICE goes in there. And I know a lot of people in these rows here, and they're very tough people, but they don't want to do this job. They'll go into a pack of MS-13 killers. They're the worst, probably the worst gangs in the world. We have thousands of them. I moved thousands and thousands out in my 4 years. We moved them out, and it was a pleasure. But ICE would go right into a pack of these killers, and you see fists flying, you see everything flying, and then they take them. They put them in a paddy wagon. They take them back, and they get them out of our country. And the other countries weren't accepting them back. And I called up and I said, tell them that we're not giving them economic aid anymore. And the next day I got calls from all of these countries that were terminated. Billions of dollars we spend on economic aid to countries that does us, frankly, no good. And the next day I was called by everybody. I couldn't take all the calls. Sir, what's the problem? I said, you won't take your killers back that you sent in caravans into America. You won't take them back. Well, sir, if you'd like us to, we would give very serious consideration to doing that. And within 24 hours, they were being taken back. For years and years, when I first came in, they said President Obama tried to get him to go back, and they wouldn't accept him. They'd put planes on the runway so you couldn't leave the plane. They'd close the road so you couldn't take the buses. They'd all have to turn back. As soon as I said no more economic aid of any kind to any country that does that, they called back and they said, sir, it would be our great honor to take MS-13. We love them very much. We love them very much, sir. We'll take them back. At the heart of the Republican platform is our pledge to end this border nightmare and fully restore the sacred and sovereign borders of the United States of America. And we're going to do that on day one. That means two things on day one, right? Drill, baby, drill, and close our borders. And by the way, and I think everybody as a Republican, as a patriot in this room, and most Democrats, we want people to come into our country, but they have to come into our country legally. Legally. Less than 4 years ago, I handed.
That's the one thing I honestly never understood. I can't pick up and move to another country illegally. I can't go to Australia. I can't go to New Zealand illegally. I don't know why people have such a problem that they're asking for this in the United States. Every other country does it. Why are people so against it here? Makes no sense to me. It never did.
Did this administration the strongest border in American history? But you can see on the chart that saved my life. That was the chart that saved my life. I said, look it, I'm so proud of it. I think it's one of the greatest. It was done by the Border Patrol. One of the greatest charts I've ever seen. It showed everything just like that. You know the chart. Oh, there it is. That's pretty good. Wow. Last time I put up that chart, I never really got to look at it. But without that chart, I would not be here today. Never got to look at it. I said, you got to see this chart. I was so proud of it. And by the time I got to there, I never got to see it that day. But I'm seeing it now, and I was very proud. If you look at the arrow on the bottom, that's the lowest level, the one on the bottom, heavy red arrow. That's the lowest level of illegal immigrants ever to come into our country in recorded history, right there. Right there. And that was my last week in office. And then you see what happened after I left. Look at the rest. And if you go out a little bit further, it's getting to be a little bit old, but I love it anyway, right? But you can go much higher with those numbers. Look what happened right after that. The invasion began. We had the opposite. We stopped the invasion, but the invasion that we stopped was peanuts by comparison to what happened after I left. Look at what happened after I left. They took over our country. We ended all catch and release. We shut down asylum fraud. We stopped human trafficking and forged historic agreements to keep illegal aliens on foreign soil. We want them to stay on their soil. Under the Trump administration, if you came in illegally, you were apprehended immediately and you were deported. You went right back. The current administration terminated every single one of those great Trump policies that I put in place to seal the border. I wanted a sealed border. Again, come in, but come in legally. You know how unfair it is? So many people, hundreds of thousands of people, have been working for years to come into our country. And now they see these people pour into our country at levels that are unprecedented. It's so unfair. And we're not going to do it. We're not going to stand for it. They suspended wall construction, ended remain in Mexico. We had a policy, remain in Mexico. You think that was easy to get from the Mexican government? But I said, you must give it to us. If you don't give it to us, there will be repercussions. And they gave it to us, but not easy. Canceled our Safe Third agreements. Demolished Title 42, implemented nationwide catch and release. That's catch and release, where we catch them and release them into our country. We catch them and release them into Mexico. There's a slight difference. And took 93, this is the previous administration, 93 executive actions to throw open our border to the world. The entire world is pouring into our country because of this very foolish administration. The greatest invasion in history is taking place right here in our country. They are coming in from every corner of the earth, not just from South America, but from Africa, Asia, the Middle East. They're coming from everywhere. They're coming at levels that we've never seen before. It is an invasion indeed, and this administration does absolutely nothing to stop them. They're coming from prisons. They're coming from jails. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums. You know, the press is always on me because I say this. Has anyone seen Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He'd love to have you for dinner. That's insane asylums. They're emptying out their insane asylums. And terrorists are coming in at numbers that we've never seen before. Bad things are going to happen. Meanwhile, our crime rate is going up while crime statistics all over the world are going down because they're taking their criminals and they're putting them into our country. A certain country, and I happen to like the president of that country very much, but he's been getting great publicity because he's a wonderful shepherd of the country. He says how well the country's doing because their crime rate is down. And he said he's training all of these rough people. They're rough. He's training them. And I've been reading about this for 2 years. I think, oh, that's wonderful. Let's take a look at it. But then I realized he's not training them. He's sending all of his criminals, his drug dealers, his people that are in jails. He's sending them all to the United States. And he's different in that he doesn't say that. He's trying to convince everybody what a wonderful job he does in running the country. Well, he doesn't do a wonderful job. And by the way, if I ran one of the countries, many countries from all over, I would be worse than any of them. I would have had the place totally emptied out already. But we become a dumping ground for the rest of the world, which is laughing at us. They think we're stupid. And they can't believe that they're getting away with what they're getting away with, but they're not going to be getting away with it for long. That's what I can tell you. In Venezuela, Caracas, high crime. Caracas, Venezuela, really a dangerous place, but not anymore. Because in Venezuela, crime is down 72%. In fact, if they would ever win this election, I hate to even say that, we will have our next Republican convention in Venezuela because it will be safe. Our cities will be so unsafe, we will not be able to have it there. In El Salvador, murders are down by 70%. Why are they down? Now, he would have you convinced that because he's trained murderers to be wonderful people. No. They're down because they're sending their murderers to the United States of America. This is going to be very bad. And bad things are going to happen, and you're seeing it happen all the time. That's why, to keep our families safe, the Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history of our country. Even larger than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower from many years ago. You know, he was a moderate, but he believed very strongly in borders. He had the largest deportation operation we've ever had. Just recently, I spoke to the grieving mother of Jocelyn Nungary, a wonderful woman, a precious 12-year-old girl from Houston who last month was tied up, assaulted, and strangled to death after walking to the convenience store just a block away from her house. Her body was dumped near the side of the road in a shed.
All right, I'm giving them like 5 to 10 more minutes because I'm actually starting to get bored.
Shallow Creek, found by some onlookers who couldn't believe what they had witnessed. Charged with Jocelyn's heinous murder are 2 illegal aliens from Venezuela who came across our border, were in custody, and were then released into the country by this horrible, horrible administration that we have right now. I also met recently with the heartbroken mother and sister of Rachel Morin. Rachel was a 37-year-old mom of 5 beautiful children who was brutally raped and murdered while out on a run. She wanted to keep herself in good shape. It was very important to her. She was murdered. The monster responsible first killed another woman in El Salvador before he was led into America by the White House. This White House let them in. He then attacked a 9-year-old girl and her mother in a home invasion in Los Angeles before murdering Rachel in Maryland. Traveled all throughout the country, doing tremendous damage. Rachel's mother will never be the same. I spent time with her. She will never be the same. I've also met with the wonderful family of Laken Riley, the brilliant 22-year-old nursing student. She was so proud of being first in her class, who was out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia when she was assaulted, beaten, and horrifically killed. Yet another American life was stolen by a criminal alien set free by this administration. And these were incredible people we're talking about. These were incredible people who died. Tonight, America, this is my vow. I will not let these killers and criminals into our country. I will keep our sons and daughters safe. As we bring security to our streets, we will help bring stability to the world. I was the first president in modern times to start no new wars. You know, we were the toughest, we were the most respected. And you saw this. Hungry, strong country, run by a very powerful, tough leader, tough guy. Press doesn't like him because he's tough. And he came out recently. They were asking him at an interview, the whole world is exploding. What's happening? What's going on? Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, very tough man. He said, I don't want people coming into my country and blowing up our shopping centers and killing people. But they said to him, tell us what's going wrong, what's happening, what is it? He said, there's only one way you're going to solve it. You got to bring President Trump back to the United States because he kept everybody at bay. He used a word I wouldn't use because I can't use that word, because you'd say it was braggadocious. The press would say he was a braggart. I'm not a braggart. But Viktor Orban said it. He said Russia was afraid of him. China was afraid of him. Everybody was afraid of him. Nothing was going to happen. The whole world was at peace. And now the world is blowing up around us. All of these things that you read about were not going to happen. Under President Bush, Russia invaded Georgia. Under President Obama, Russia took Crimea. Under the current administration, Russia is after all of Ukraine. Under President Trump, Russia took nothing. We defeated 100% of ISIS in Syria and Iraq, something that was said to take 5 years, sir.
Joy, the only thing I need to find out, because I would be making money on it, is can I make my own merch for Trump? As long as I get the yes, then I have no problem doing it. But I got to get the yes because they could go global. So something like that, I definitely need permission that, yeah, we can make our own merch.
It'll take 5 years, sir. We did it in a matter of a couple of months. We have a great military. Our military is not woke. It's just some of the fools on top that are woke. I got along very well. North Korea, Kim Jong-un, I got along very well with him. The press hated when I said that. How could you get along with him? Well, you know, it's nice to get along with somebody who has a lot of nuclear weapons or otherwise, isn't it? See, in the old days, they'd say, that's a wonderful thing. Now they say, how could you possibly do that? But no, I got along with them, and we stopped the missile launches from North Korea. Now North Korea is acting up again, but when we get back, I get along with him. He'd like to see me back, too. I think he misses me, if you want to know the truth. Our opponents inherited a world at peace and turned it into a planet of war. We're in a planet of war. Look at that attack on Israel. Look at what's happening with Ukraine. The cities are just bombed out. How can people live like that where buildings, massive buildings, are falling to the ground? It began to unravel with the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan, the worst humiliation in the history of our country. We have never had a humiliation like that. 13 heroic U.S. service members were tragically and needlessly killed. 45 others were horrifically wounded. Nobody ever talks about them. No arms, no legs, face explosions, horrifically wounded. And by the way, we have a man in this room who's running for the U.S. Senate from a great state, Nevada, named Sam Brown, who paid the ultimate price. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. He paid the biggest price probably ever paid by anybody that is running for office, and I think he's going to do great. He's running against a person that is not good, not respected, a total lightweight. But Sam, I think, paid, really, we were talking about it with some of the senators that are working so hard for Sam, but he paid the biggest price of any senator ever to run for the Senate. I don't think anybody's ever what he did. He was a real hero, a really great person, and he's running, and I hope that everybody gets out and votes for Sam Brown. And we also left behind $85 billion worth of military equipment along with many American citizens, were left behind. Many, many American citizens, emboldened by that disaster. Russia invaded Ukraine. They saw this group of people that were incompetent. We took the soldiers out first. No, we're going to take the soldiers out second. If they would have followed my plan, we had a great plan. But the plan only kicked in if they did everything perfectly, and they weren't doing things perfectly. So we said it doesn't kick in. 18 months in Afghanistan, we didn't have one. So they were killing them left and right, snipers. And I spoke to the head of the Taliban. You've heard this story. Abdul, still there, still the head of the Taliban. The press got on me. Why would you speak to him? I said, because that's where the killing is. I don't have to speak to somebody that has nothing to do with it. And I told him, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever, ever do that again. You got to stop. Because during the Obama administration, many great people and soldiers, a lot of soldiers were being killed from long distance. I said, if you keep doing that, you're going to be hit harder than anybody's ever been hit by a country before. And he said, I understand, Your Excellency. He called me Your Excellency. I wonder if he calls the other guy Your Excellency. I doubt it. The other guy gave him everything. I mean, what kind of a deal was that? He walked out, gave him everything. Do you know that right now Afghanistan is one of the largest sellers of weapons in the world? They're selling the brand new, beautiful weapons that we gave them. But think of it. He actually said to me, but why do you show me a picture of my home? I said, you'll have to ask your people or one of your wives. But he could figure it out. And for 18 months, we had not one attack on an American soldier by the Taliban. 18 months. And then we had that horrible day where soldiers were killed. I was not there because of a ridiculous election. But we had that horrible attack. And they also gave up Bagram, one of the biggest bases anywhere in the world, air bases anywhere in the world, the longest runways, most powerful, hardened, thickened runways. We gave it up. And I liked it not because of Afghanistan. I liked it because of China. It's 1 hour away from where China makes their nuclear weapons. And you know who has it now? China has it now. We were keeping that. And now China is likewise circling Taiwan, and Russian warships and nuclear submarines are operating 60 miles off the coast in Cuba. Do you know that? No, the press refuses to write about it. If that were me running this country and we had nuclear submarines in Cuba, I will tell you that headlines every day would be, what's wrong with our president? You don't even hear this. You're not hearing about this. Russia has nuclear submarines and warships 60 miles away, Mr. Congressman, from Miami, by the way, happens to be here. Correct? In Cuba. And that would not be stood for if it were somebody else. They don't want to mention it, but now maybe they will. And the entire world, I tell you this, we want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office, or you will be paying a very big price. With our victory in November, the years of war, weakness, and chaos will be over. I don't have wars. I had no wars other than ISIS, which I defeated, but that was a war that was started. We had no wars. I could stop wars with a telephone call. I could stop wars with just a telephone call. If properly stated, it would never start. We will replenish our military and build an Iron Dome missile defense system to ensure that no enemy can strike our homeland. And this great Iron Dome will be built entirely in the USA. We're going to build it in the USA. And Wisconsin Wisconsin, just like I gave you that massive ship contract, and you're doing a very nice job, Governor, right? Thank you, Governor. And they're doing a great job. In fact, I had a little design change, and we gave them a tremendous for essentially what we used to call destroyers. These are now the most beautiful. They look like yachts. I said, we have to take the bow and we have to make it a little nicer and a little point at the top instead of a flat nose. And the people at the shipyard said, this guy sort of knows what he's doing. We have most beautiful ships, right, Governor? And everybody's sitting over there. And it was a big contract that everybody wanted. I gave it to Wisconsin, but we're going to have a lot of that built right here in the state of Wisconsin and all other states. Israel has an Iron Dome. They have a missile defense system. 342 missiles were shot into Israel, and only one got through a little bit. It was badly wounded. It fell to the ground, but most of them are. And Ronald Reagan wanted this many years ago, but we really didn't have the technology many years ago. Remember, they called it Starship, spaceship, anything to mock him. But he was a very good president, very, very good. But now we have unbelievable technology. And why should other countries have this and we don't? No, we're going to build an Iron Dome over our country, and we're going to be sure that nothing can come and harm our people. And again, from an economic development standpoint, we're going to make it all right here. No more sending it out to other countries in order to help. It's America first. America first. We will unleash the power of American innovation.
Love him or hate him, he did put America first in his first 4 years of presidency. That he did do.
And as we do, we will soon be on the verge of finding the cures to cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and many other diseases. We're going to get to the bottom of it. You remember this gentleman that I don't want to mention other than one time I had to, because when you say the 10 worst, I had to do it. I didn't want anybody to be confused. But this man said, we're going to find a cure to cancer. Nothing happened. We're going to get to the cure for cancer and Alzheimer's and so many other things. We're so close to doing something great. But we need a leader that will let it be done. We will not have men playing in women's sports. That will end immediately. And we will restore and renovate our nation's once great cities, making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And that includes our nation's capital, which is a horrible killing field. So many things. They leave from Wisconsin. They go to look at the Washington Monument. They end up getting stabbed, killed, or shot. We will be very soon very proud of our capital, again, Washington, D.C. America is on the cusp of a new golden age, but we will have the courage to seize it. We're going to take it. We're going to make it a current. We're going to bring this into a golden age like never seen before. Remember this, China wants to do it. Japan wants to do it. All of these countries want to do it. We have to produce massive amounts of energy if we're going to produce the new. If you look at some of the things that have been done, and some of the things that we're going to do, but gathered together talking about the future, promise, and a total renewal of a thing we love very much. It's called America. We live in a world of miracles. None of us knows God's plan or where life's adventure will take us. I want to thank Franklin Graham for being here tonight. He's an outstanding man. He wrote me a note recently. I have a lot of respect for him. Sir, I love your storytelling. I think it's great in front of these big rallies. But sir, please do me one favor. It won't make any difference. Please don't use any foul language. I was a little embarrassed. I said, he said, it won't make any difference. Actually, it does. The story's not quite as good, but I've been very good. The story is not quite as good, to be honest. I've got to have a little talk with Franklin, but he was great. He's a great gentleman. His father was so incredible, Billy Graham. My father used to love taking me to see Billy Graham.
All right. Can I turn this off? I'm getting really bored.
My father would take me to see Billy Graham at Yankee Stadium.
All right. We're done with Trump. If anything exciting happens, let me know. But one thing I do want to say, the reason why I know he's going to win, Generation Z wanted Biden to win, even though they weren't old enough to vote yet. And I know this from my daughter. Now they're old enough to vote, and they cannot stand what Biden has done. They're all in college now and feeling the effects of everything, being so top dollar and not knowing how they're ever going to buy a house, how they're ever going to afford anything. So him saying things are going to go down, Generation Z, who's voting for the very first time, is going to vote for Trump. They want, one, they don't know any better, but two, what they've seen, their first choice, which was Biden 4 years ago, has done nothing good for them. And I think that's going to be a huge pull in the vote this year. And just my personal opinion. Smart kids, what? Voting for Biden? Because even Sage was saying, we had this conversation a couple of days ago. I was telling her, about buying a house. She's like, Mom, who the fuck can afford a house? You know what, Sage? You're right. Most people can't. She's like, you look at houses these days, even our house. When my landlord bought this house in 2018, it was like $130,000. My house is now worth like 300 and change. You can't buy a house. You're paying exorbitant rates plus everything else. So I get what she was saying. Where a couple, 4 years ago, you could buy a house, no problem. So I just think that's going to put Trump over the edge, which is not just old people, but that younger generation, they want to be able to buy a house. They want to be able to afford food, and they can't at the moment. So I'm pretty convinced that that's going to put them over the edge. That's going to put him over the edge. Biden's a fucking idiot, plain and simple. If interest rates go down to 175 again, you could buy. It's just the cost itself is crazy. So, but thank you, True Texan, if you're still in here. I'm glad we got to watch it because I wanted to watch it. And I told Sage, I text her. I said, hey, guess what? You're no longer going to get taxed on your tips. She was like, oh, I love to hear that. Because she's one of those waitresses. So, all right, let's get into this. Now that we're like an hour and a half behind. And we could go back to this if you want, but a couple of things I want to talk about. The Earth and Moon is not in retrograde, so I don't know why the fucking people of the internet have lost their damn minds. But they most certainly have. And it's bad. But I'm going to get to that. I did start the channel, One and Done. So the channel does exist. Obviously, I haven't done a video on it yet. But I made the channel, I created the channel, and it's called One and Done. And I will get you the link by the end because I totally forgot. But I have been sitting back watching some of the shit play out over the last couple of days. And oh my God. People are out of their fucking minds. I'm not going to mention names for a specific reason. But when I go through some of the messages and the community posts, you guys will know exactly who I'm talking about. And there's a reason that I want to show you guys. People don't realize the effects of dog whistling CPS. People don't realize the effects of blaming people for certain things. It is absolutely disgusting what is going on around on YouTube right now. It's one thing to call somebody a cunt, an asshole, a this or that, a bitch. But to legit tell people that they're involved in a pedo ring, and one that like you're not even fighting with. It's not like you're in like a back and forth with them and you say shit, you know, like come on. Out of nowhere, creators on this platform are being dog whistled. And if you don't know what dog whistling is, it's basically inferring something. If I said, well, wouldn't it be great if I had someone to call the police on Aussie Girl? Now, I'm not telling anyone to call the police. I'm just saying that wouldn't it be nice? That's dog whistling. And nobody calling Aussie Girl. I'm only using her as an example because she was the first one to pop up. And what I saw tonight was none of you should have a child in your presence. That's dog whistling. And it would be disgusting, and especially since they're all parents and grandparents. So I want to show you guys the effect of CPS on a child, on a teenager, on a parent, on the police. And while I was looking for this video, interestingly enough, I know you guys have heard how I had this fundraiser for a lawyer. I want you guys to watch this. Before we get to that, I got scammed today. How I got scammed, it wasn't for money. Well, it was, but I just didn't fall for that part. But be very careful who you give information to. Thankfully, I didn't give any more information that someone on Facebook couldn't find on the internet. All you got to do is look up my name. You'll get the same information. And the email that I gave her isn't attached to any of my bank accounts or PayPals or anything. So I'm on Facebook this morning and I'm just scrolling through stuff. It's early. It's like 7:30 in the morning. And I come across some festivals, you know, like local festivals, people attending. My friend Sue, who was in here before, you know, it said she was attending totally legit festivals. Under the festival, and now I'm on my cell phone too, so it like looks a little different. It says, are you looking to be a vendor? Yeah, I am. So there were 3 different places that I contacted. Now, again, 7:30 in the morning. I didn't get a lot of sleep. It was kind of off and on all night. So there I was, and I'm talking to the people. Now, I've done festivals before, you know, as a vendor, and they ask you, what size booth do you need? Name, what, you know, short description of your business. And they tell you how much it is. And then they'll, you know, tell you make a payment, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking in my head, again, 7:30 in the morning on my cell phone, I'm thinking this is totally legit. We could take payments of Apple Pay, PayPal, or something else. The second she said to me, use friends and family on PayPal, was a red flag. Why the fuck do you care if I use friends and family? Well, I'll tell you why. Because PayPal won't give your money back. Once you find out it's a scam, they don't give you money back if it's done through friends and family. But I thought it was really odd that someone was telling me to, like, this is a vendor. Why would you tell me to use friends and family? So that was my first red flag. But this was already after I gave them all my information. But I was going to use Apple Pay. And for some reason, I don't have like the card connected to Apple Pay. I don't know. So I told them I was going to use PayPal. So I go to put in their name in PayPal, and it's some wacky fucking name that doesn't even come up to anything. So right then and there, I stopped. And I said, I'm not going to send you money. Do me a favor. Send me all the information. She said, well, I can't send you the information not until the payment is made. I said, I don't understand. Why can't I go right to the website of why can't I go right to the website of the festival and do it that way? And she said, because that's just not the way we do it. Okay. And they seem totally legit. Now I'm saying they, because I had 2 of these going, 2 different conversations. The second one, and I told the girl, I'm not giving you any money. She's like, okay, have a good day. The second one, now I was already tuned into the first one, but the second one was a festival that sold out immediately. Like I went there the next day and it was sold out already. We're talking like 400 vendors. So she said, what size booth do you need? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, maybe this one's legit. So I'm like, can I go to the festival and pay it? She said, no. Well, why? She's like, we're legit. And I said, okay, so then I can go to the festival and pay it. So what's really scary, though, is how many people may be scammed by them. And then they go to the festival with all their stuff fully prepared to be a vendor and have a spot and find out that they were scammed. I don't know what I would do if I would have got scammed that way. I would have flipped the fuck out. So I can't even imagine how many people are getting scammed by this. So that's the reason I'm telling you guys. And I was thinking about making a full video of the scam. And I went to Facebook to find what it was I found. And for some reason, I can't find it. The $50, which is standard for the booth, for a 10 by 10 booth. And I mean, and they seem legit. Tables, no tables. The 10 by 10 only doesn't have tables or chairs. You have to provide your own, but the 10 by 13 gives you 2 chairs. Like everything seemed totally legit. And by the time I got to the second one, I said the exact same thing. I said, this is a scam. And she didn't answer me. And then she said, somebody else, how did she put it? Hold on, let me see. It was the way she wrote it. It was definitely not English. She said, this is exactly what she wrote. I really do understand someone also complain this same issue with us, but this is how our payment been make. You can't make a payment through the event website. Whoa. No, not Rock. It's all of them were Event by Betty. The other one was Event by Miley. And then there was a third one, Event by Christine. And I was like, wow. Just wow. Exactly, Aussie. 20 people pay them $1,000. No, they haven't blocked me. But, well, they may have on Facebook. I don't know yet. I haven't been able to find them. One was a festival in Hartsdale. Another one was Madison Street Festival, which was sold out within like an hour. And they said, oh, we have some openings due to cancellations. Okay, seems legit. But yeah. And, I said they got my phone number. They got my address. They got my email. Not my address. Only the last one asked for the address, but I already knew the other 2 was scams, so I didn't even bother with the third one. And I don't think I would have given the address anyway, because you don't need it. But it was my name, my phone number, my description of the business, and my email. But I was just like, wow. And I'm a type person, I never ever thought I could ever get scammed. Like, I know what it's like. And she was like, "Oh, we already have, 5 to 7,000," like, totally legit. It just seemed completely legit. And I never ever thought that I could get scammed like that, but I did. Thank God I didn't go as far as money or give them any kind of PayPal or anything, but, when the second one couldn't speak proper English, yeah, no. You wouldn't know how to fucking speak English. So that's how I knew it was scam, but it's scary though that it's so easy to get scammed on Facebook that people don't realize it. Half the companies that advertise are phony. Like, don't ever buy something from Facebook unless you really look up the company. I mean, I'm still waiting for mascara from like 2 years ago, but almost all Facebook ads are fake. And I don't know why the scammers took over Facebook ads, but it's bad, like really bad. And every time something looks good and you have all these people in the comments saying how great it is, I'll do a quick search, find out it's a scam. So definitely, definitely keep your eyes open on Facebook. But it really, oh, are there some on YouTube? I was taken back. Like, thank God, even though I was still like a little out of it at 7:30 in the morning, thank God I didn't get money to them. And thankfully, that first PayPal just automatically didn't seem right. And I knew that a company would never do that. So I just keep your eyes out because you never know. People are fucked up. Hey, Big Brother live feeds. And I feel like everyone's a scam lately. So just keep your eyes open and be very careful on Facebook. Because again, I never ever thought I could get scammed. And I did. Thank God there was no money lost. And they didn't get any of my info. For my pay. Because I keep getting calls from the bank. They had to cancel my card because a fake, thing went through. And I don't even know where someone's getting it from. But it's like every other week, I got to cancel my card and start over again. It's a fucking nightmare. Because then you forget all the things you have, connected to that card. I agree, sweet one. It's so bad. But it really looked 100% legit. There was no reason for me to even question it. So, yeah, so just keep aware. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a short video on it and really show everything and show how I got scammed so nobody else gets scammed. It's pretty bad. Because again, I can't even imagine how many people actually paid. I can only imagine. I took all my money to the bank, no money to take scammers. All right. So I'm going to start with Willow's post. Willow's post covers both. I don't know if you guys have been following this one specific creator who has lost her fucking mind. But she's blaming the jerks and Chasing Truth, Jonesin, and Deets of being part of a pedo ring. Now, this happened like 10 months ago. I'm not really sure what brought it up again or why it's brought up again, but it's absolutely fucking ludicrous. So Willow, of all people, made a response post to this lunacy that's been going on for like 2 days. So let me get that. All right. So we got a dog whistle post of Chase and True Deeds Johnson. If this is how you care for and protect your own children or any child ever left in your care, they all need to be checked on immediately. Not a single one of you should be left alone with any child ever, period. End of story. That is the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Completely fucking asinine. And I'll tell you what else I'm sick and tired of. And this goes across the board on YouTube. From Seth Rogers to, what's her name? Sebastian Rogers to Summer Wells. People need to stop hiding behind a missing case of a child they've never met. Do not use a missing child's name to fight your drama. That is what's sick. And I've seen it across the board. I've seen it with Summer Wells. I've seen it with Sebastian Rogers. I've seen it with multiple cases. People need to fucking stop. Okay. So Willow decided to fight back. Willow says, nor should any unattended produce be left in your care, you rascally rabbit. I mean, there's easier ways to boost your vitamin C intake, but I digress. Speaking of vegetative states, I see the Carrot Queen is back at it again, thirsty as fuck. How in the hell are you going to Alex Jones the fuck out of intergalactic pedo syndicates and such? Keep the company you keep, and then have the nerve to gatekeep the tragedy of a missing child. Is this shit even real? We get it. You've been MIA. Channel is struggling a bit, so in typical DC fashion, pick a fight with everyone. Got it. Super original. That's not really DC fashion, by the way. But as long as there's a child's name attached, do you think that's a permit to go hard in the box? See what I did there? I'm not a huge fan of the term dog whistle, and it's unhearable, allowing bad actors the ability to claim something as fact with no actual foundation to said claim. You think, therefore, it's real, doesn't work for me. However, this seems pretty damn close to a CPS DHR call to action. Bitch, you dirty as fuck. So let's keep children by tormenting the children of my detractors and misguided use of resources. Watch out, folks. Genius at work. By the way, my name is Willow. Pleased to formally meet you. I'm sure we're going to be the bestest of friends. Willow said that beautifully, and I absolutely agree with him. And it has gotten completely fucking out of control. These last few days have been absolutely insane. Insane. And it needs to fucking stop. And people accusing other people of saying that a child should not be in your realm, a child should not be there, you shouldn't have a child, is completely uncalled for. Completely uncalled for. And it really does need to stop. So let's go one step further. What happens when CPS is called? What happens when people think that calling CPS is perfectly fine? It is defamation. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. So I dug into the vault and I found a CPS call. And it was all over YouTube. And these kids become these creators' entire personality. They take on the character as if they know the family or child personally. I agree with you. I've heard people say, we love this child more than the family. The most ludicrous things I've ever heard. And I'm gonna say something that may not win any fans. It may win some fans. Unless you live near the family, unless you're personal friends with the family, for people to say, I love her so much, I love him so much, you're so full of shit. You don't love someone that you've never met, that you have no ties to, that you have nothing connecting you to them. Now, I'm talking from a creator standpoint. Subs are a little different. The reason why I say subs are a little different is because, you know, as a sub, you're not handling multiple cases at once. You may have, like Amber, I'll use you as an example. Let's say Amber never came to YouTube before, but lost a child due to disappearing into thin air. So all of a sudden they get connected with Sebastian Rogers' group on Facebook. And Sebastian went missing the same way that Amber's child went missing. That I can see a connection. So in a situation like that, it's like, oh, okay, I get that. And that's where I can see a sub getting very personally connected to a case. Because that same sub probably won't even be around for the next case. Like, they're not into true crime. They just found a specific case that is very similar to them, or, you know, their situation. That's totally different. I'm talking as a creator. You can have empathy, you can love a kid, you can, you know, get close to a kid. But at the end of the day, if you've never spoken to their family, if you've never seen where they live up close and personal, talk to their neighbors, talk to their friends, then you can't possibly say how much you love this child. Sorry, not sorry. So when I see creators trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to state how much they love a child and they're their godmother and all this other bullshit, it's laughable. Absolutely fucking laughable. And it's always been laughable to me. It's nothing new. BHB does the same thing. It's a joke. It's absolutely ridiculous. BHB, the thing that makes me laugh about BHB Tatum, she doesn't even fucking have kids. I know she says, oh, my ex-husband. Bitch, that not even close. You haven't had kids in your life ever. You've never given birth to a child. You've never adopted a child. Your ex was in your life. Were the kids there when you were beating them up or what? Like, no kids were ever mentioned in any fucking court filing. You don't have grandkids. Just stop. Just literally stop the bullshit. But don't even get me started on that one. But it's like JLR. JLR never had any kids that he knows of. Shield, that's the word I was looking for, Crystal. Thank you, Shield. I've never heard JLR, and I'm not a JLR fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I've never heard JLR get emotionally invested in a case. And I like that because that's how I am. Don't ever get emotionally invested as a creator. You can have empathy, but the second that you get emotionally invested, you're done. You shouldn't be on YouTube. You even see it with some of the bigwigs, like Vinnie Politan. Vinnie Politan was heavily invested in Madeline Soto, talked about it every day. He got emotionally invested. He had to step back because you start to let that emotions overtake your mind and your thoughts. And I just feel like he realized he had to take a step back. He did. Because his life was becoming consumed with Madeline Soto. It's why he started a channel. There was something about that case that just took him. And that happens. It does. But what I'm seeing lately is people using these children as a shield, and it's not their kids. Stop using someone else's child as your shield for drama and for bullshit. And that's all it is bullshit. And the vile stuff that I heard last night, oh my. I think someone has gone absolutely fucking psychotic around here. And I mean that wholeheartedly. So let me show you. Now, I'm also going to give you guys a trigger warning. Oh, you know what? While we're here, here's the one and done page link. I got to give it to the mods to drop, but there's a one and done page. Oh, come on. I had it all set up. I leave it over here. Now I got to go find it again. I don't know what happened to it. I think it was behind Trump and then I fucked up. Bear with me. But that's what I'm saying. Using it to cover bad behavior, it's fucking gross. And let me tell you what else is gross. Dolly's thumbnail today was absolutely fucking vile. And I mean vile. I don't know if you guys saw it. He basically implied that Sebastian Rogers' body was found, like he was found dead. If that was my child, I swear to you, I would have gone straight to Dolly's house and beat the living fuck out of him. No joke. How is this even fucking possible? Come on. Oh, you know what? I got an easy way to do it. I bet it's here. History. How is this even fucking possible? Oh my God. Oh no, this was worse, brutally honest. This was way worse. All right. Now, this video was 4 years ago. It was done on, I believe it was April, right in the middle of COVID. At the beginning of COVID, I mean. And I was livid. Livid. But this is what happens when sick motherfuckers invade communities. And CPS are called and assholes are called. Guys, make sure you hit the thumbs up. All right, let me put this on screen display. All I was doing was painting him in the backyard. Sage. Hi. Sure.
Is there a safe in this?
Yeah, she's my daughter.
Okay.
Okay, that was, I didn't know I hit the video. That was video 1. Hold on. Now I'm like scuffling to fucking hit record video.
You got paint all in your hands.
Huh? Can I help you?
Yeah, we just need to talk to Sage.
Okay. Now, mind you, I'm dumbfounded. Like, okay, why are there cops at my door at 12 o'clock in the fucking afternoon asking for my 15-year-old? No idea. Like, I'm dumbfounded. Sage! Come here. Can you tell me why?
You got a son at their house?
Yeah.
Okay. We just received a phone call about some kind of incident.
Wait, hold on a minute. Why don't you go back inside for a minute? Let's brief them out.
What kind of incident?
To our knowledge, she has been sexually assaulted.
What?
Possibly.
What?
Yeah. That's why
Wow, they have taken this too far.
Which day?
I'm a YouTuber, and this shit goes on nonstop. And now all of a sudden I'm molesting my child.
Not you.
Not you.
So I'm the only one that lives here with my kids.
Exactly.
It supposedly happened with the brother did it, not you.
What? Okay, now we'll get into it. That was video 2. And here's the whole thing.
We all are, I think. By the way, this got delivered here too.
What? Yeah, that's mine.
So what's going on? The phone call.
This happened in April of 2020. It was right as everything shut down. I was redoing Sage was like depressed. So that's when I started redoing a whole room. So we were painting, but nobody could leave the house. And it was April when everything shut down.
What was supposedly from you leaving a voicemail to DHR representative?
I have not called the cops. I've been laying in bed all day watching TikToks.
I've been painting furniture.
Okay.
And you're late.
Yeah.
That's the call that we got. So it was just a welfare check to make sure that you're okay and to, I guess, be more digging into it to see what all happened. But supposedly you called DHR in Limestone County and told them that your brother had molested you.
Why would you call Limestone County?
If people move from different locations, if they was with, I got you. But if say you was ever in Limestone County and you had whatever contact with whatever agent that was over you, that still would be your normal point of contact. So that's our understanding of what's kind of going on. So
You don't look in distress.
yeah,
So
you don't seem
No.
in distress.
Her brothers
You don't
are
seem-
twins. They're twins.
Yeah, and that was yeah. So that was the call we was giving. I'm gonna
give her the event number in case she wants to get an attorney, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting an attorney. This is
I don't know
crazy.
how they're gonna track it, but
This is crazy.
Lots of it number.
is this the first time or is this like something similar happening?
DHS was called, DCF, whatever, was called, when was that? November 19th from YouTube. It was somebody from YouTube. I do YouTube full time.
You can make phone calls through YouTube.
No, but people find out who you are and they want to shut you down or they want to do stuff to you, so they'll swat you, they'll do whatever. That's why.
What do you do on YouTube? Like,
True crime, reaction videos.
I just now I'm.
Because she was like, she's
I'm just now discovering what YouTube is.
she's like, somebody's here. And I'm like, so go answer it. She's like, I don't want.
Now there's somebody at my fucking door again. So I'll be back again. It's probably fucking DHS. Now I got my dogs bark because they hear these dogs barking. Go fuck yourself. I'll be back. DHS is fucking DCF. Department of Children and fucking Family. You fucking waste of life. God help the motherfucker who did this. I am fucking warning you right now. God fucking help you. Person
all I dreamed of. There was a time in my life when being with Tony Soprano was all I dreamed of.
And I started crying. I was like, are you fucking serious? He's like, I don't believe it's real. He's like, but we have to take it to the next step. If you're going to get an attorney, have them contact me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, people just can't get away with this. They fucking accused my 15-year-old of abusing, and he said, I said molesting. He said it wasn't molesting. It was penetration. I said, this is sick. People can't fucking get away with this and with no ramification. They just can't. They said in normal, because it's a sexual abuse case, in normal, I said, I could take it to the doctor. She's still a virgin. Like, nothing. And you're like, I can prove that easily. But yeah. But I said, this is it. And he suggested getting an attorney. He said, do not take this lightly. I said, believe me, I'm not. Believe that. No, he said it would be fine. He was just saying in normal cases. But he suggested me getting an attorney. But don't worry about it.
disagreeing.
I don't
It's
understand.
it's the
I don't know why.
Phoenix should sue for defamation. This is
Penny
disgusting.
makes some money.
The person has money, we gotta find
There was a time in my life when being with Tony Soprano was all I dreamed of.
This is the sickest fucking thing I have ever happened in my entire life. And I have that conversation recorded too. They don't step in the house now because of Corona. So I am so dumbfounded. And it is so sick. So sick. Let me find out the motherfucker that fucking called. I promise you, you will fucking go down. I promise you. How... Ugh. Let me finish playing the first half. Let me get through some tears and I'll play this first half. Want to?
We got first thing. You used to live at the 100 Sunset Center.
Yes.
That's where we were for the last 30 minutes.
Oh, all right.
And
Scared me. I was
obviously,
like, I never saw you over there.
and then we got sent here, and I'm assuming you have another place in Florida.
My mom.
Okay, that's how all that came into play. But I'm glad y'all at home, so we can. Obviously, you're not in distress, and the
No, I
and the
just
call
promise
is
you I do not.
sickening to some degree. Is your brother autistic?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, somebody knows that information.
No.
And
He's
maybe-
not. He's totally functional. He's like Asperger's, straight A student. Wow, this is like.
Yeah, it may be worth your while. If this took us like an hour plus of long.
Let me say this. This person looked me up online. That's all they did. So I want to thank every fucking body who's always using my last name, even though I fucking asked you 1,000 times, do not use my last name, because new people in the community wouldn't know my fucking last name. So everyone that wants to use my last name, you're just as fucking part of this.
Law enforcement time.
By the way, all the talking that you're hearing in the video is from the original video. It's not me talking now, just so you guys know.
For a prank call for making the allegation, a defamation of your character and
Absolutely.
all that stuff, it might be worth pursuing.
Okay.
Did they say, it's just a question, did they say my name or like, did they say
Yeah,
my
that's how
last
we got.
name?
That's
I know
we
your
got the name.
It says your name, your brother, that y'all are twins. Your
Are y'all twins?
Yes.
Wow.
You want to see him? You want to meet him?
Is he autistic or anything like that?
He's Asperger's.
Okay, they do that in there, so there was a lot of, I guess, kind of descriptive stuff. But here's my supervisor. Hey,
I will lost Why my did they call limestone? khakis.
They probably didn't. Who knows? I mean, they just went straight down the phone list or something. I don't know. That didn't make sense to me either. But we just go to where we're sent to. So
Yeah, Brian threatened me, and the caller was his wife. His wife's name.
do you have your kids on your YouTube channel somehow?
She's been on it.
Or is it school related maybe?
No. No. This is YouTube related. Believe me. This is crazy. I am
He's gonna
busted.
give you, has he already given you the report number, event number?
Has he given it?
Has he given you
No.
a card yet?
Do you guys want to meet Phoenix, her brother?
I don't have it.
Let me tell you something. Honestly, I am so hurt for Phoenix over Sage. It's horrible for Sage, but what they did to Phoenix is disgusting. I fucking never did anything like this to anybody. How dare you do this to my fucking kids?
Me too. No, I see everything's okay, so I'm just the backup here for him, so. No issues at school.
No, not that I'm aware of. I don't think anyone needs to be that much.
This, just in case, okay, this is my suggestion to you, you don't tell a soul.
Oh, no.
Keep it here, because if somebody locally that knows you from school and did it as a
Yeah.
whatever, out of being mean or whatever, is waiting in wherever and to hear things. Oh, this is what happened to her, so and so, and if he's not hearing anything, he may start asking questions, and that's how you find out. Then
Trust me, it's not local.
As far as I'm aware, no one hates me that much.
This is you too.
plus you don't want to give nobody else ideas.
Yeah,
Copycat.
that's true.
This is crazy.
That doesn't even make sense. You do what would you do on YouTube again?
True crime,
True crime.
drama. There's this.
Would you have
happens.
competitors or something, or is this all about what do
He
they call
didn't
that,
know much
views
about
and all that?
YouTube. Money,
You know,
subscribers.
whoever is a Nicole Purdy is supposed to be a friend. It's supposed to be a mother of one of your friends.
My friends?
Yes.
Nicole
Do you
Purdy.
know which
There was
friend?
a time in my life being with Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
Thank you guys for the super chats. Believe me, every single ounce of it is going to a fucking attorney. Trust me,
Yes.
it's not.
Just yeah, that's the person who called her Nicole Purdy.
That's a made up.
And by the way, when you hear the assholes turn around and say, "Oh my God, you raised money for an attorney and you never fucking used it," this is exactly what they're talking about. This is the horrible scamming that I did, that I said during this video that I was going to get an attorney. This is what makes me such a scammer, according to the community. Yeah, no joke.
And
I don't know
she
anyone's
said that
last
she's
name.
good friends. Well, her daughter is really good friends with you, but clearly, if you would know the last name, then
I don't even know the last name. If they're good friends, then I have to know the last name. But I don't.
okay. Well, I'm sorry to bother y'all.
Sorry to waste your
As he
time.
told you, we've been all over the place. Have you ever lived on Sunset?
Yeah, that's where I used to live.
Okay.
We lived there 2016 to 2018.
Okay. Yeah, they gave us that address.
That means they looked me up online. Again, Nicole Purdy is Brian St. John's wife. Brian St. John just made a video about me today saying how he didn't care if CPS was called and everything else. Nicole Purdy, there is no kid in the school named Nicole Purdy. And if it was my daughter's friend, one, they would know where we live. We haven't been in that other house in over 2 years. And two, they would call the right county. They didn't call the right county. They called the wrong county. That's how I know that it's not anyone local. Because we've been here over.
There was a time in my life being with Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
The same school district, but her friends know we moved. It's not like we just moved yesterday.
Gotcha.
You know, we moved.
Right. What's on?
The caller used Brian St. John's wife's name. I had no idea what her name was, but everyone was telling me when I found out the name, oh, that's Brian St. John's wife. That's the other reason why we knew it was from YouTube. And it was not even a question.
All my stuff's online.
If you look online,
You can literally just Google your name and all your information.
exactly. This house doesn't come up. That house comes up if someone Googles my name.
Okay.
So if it was one of her friends, yeah, they know who it is.
Yeah.
You get the
All my friends
somebody
know.
else too.
But
You have a pissing contest with somebody
oh,
else.
there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people in our community have been swatted recently. Yeah, the cop came back and found out that the name was Nicole Purdy that called in. Hang on, let me let the dog out. Yes, calls. It's not abnormal. So, but thank you. But yeah,
No
that's
problem.
that's either a made up name or she gave a real name. Yeah. Do you guys know?
There was a time in my life being with Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
Particular thing, but
Oh, can I get a case number?
oh yes, it's your card.
Thank you, Adrian. I thought this was bad. Wait till you guys hear CPS.
There was a time in my life being with Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
The CPS guy is what has me in fucking tears.
I don't know when you'll be able to pick up a copy of it due to all this stuff going on. We haven't, like, our records department is not at this point in time not handing out anything. You can still talk to them, but they might, if you talk to them, they might be able to set something up where they can mail you a copy of the documentation or something like that.
There was a time in my life when me and Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
I don't think so either, Alley Cat. I really don't. But the video that he made contributed to it. Absolutely fucking contributed to it. And has a police report on me when I filed right after CPS called. They sent a glitter bomb to my house.
There was a time in my life being with Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
Station and filed a
My God, that fucking echo is horrible.
report with them, and I just never picked it up because I wasn't doing anything with it. I just kind of wanted it on file. And so there's one there.
Okay. I was just saying, like, as far as you being able to pick up a copy of today's,
Okay.
it might take a little while for you to be able to get your own copy.
All right.
But that's the number, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Sorry about it.
It's all right. Have a great day.
That's fine.
Okay. Now, and Tuck and Roll, you're right. You guys finally wanted to see me fucking cry. You got it. Now you saw me fucking cry. You happy? Does it make you feel good?
Unfortunately, Tatum, no.
I don't know why they
It's so fucked up.
Don't cry. Don't be okay. Don't cry.
It's such a serious issue.
I agree. It's like the sickest allegation ever. I think I know what it is.
I'm literally shaking.
Thank you for doing this to my fucking innocent daughter.
Doing this to get them arrested. That's a sick allegation.
Works at CPS with drugs and stuff, and now it's this. It's so fucked up.
That's crazy.
We're still recording.
Well. So whoever called, I hope you're fucking happy. Okay. It's no big deal. The cops know it's bullshit.
I was gonna cry in front of them, but I didn't want to because I don't want them to think anything.
Yeah.
But that's why I normally laugh at situations like this, but that's so fucked up to me.
Nicole Purdy.
I'm like shaking.
I don't think that's a real name.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a couple of Nicoles though.
I don't know. No, I mean, if it's one of my friends, I know.
They would know you moved.
Yeah, exactly.
This is somebody who looked up my address online.
I don't even know anyone's last name. It starts with a P. I know the last name is Park, and that's it.
Go on Snap before it freaks. So thank you very much, whoever did this to my fucking kids. But it gets worse. Let me pull up CPS. I actually have to upload it, so hang on. Live it is recorded Brian's video today. It has a to Marissa Madden. Thank you, PJ. All right, Phoenix. This is what's going on. I know you're not aware. So someone from YouTube, and I know it's from YouTube, called and said that you molested Sage. And I was, wow. And the cops were here earlier. I don't know if
There was a time in my life being with Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
And they brought up that you were autistic and everything else, and yeah, that's the accusation.
It's offensive in so much ways.
That's what I said. I said I'm hiring the attorney. This is bullshit.
It's bullshit. I didn't do anything.
I know.
That's about it. Yeah, anything else you want to say about it in regards to it?
Are
I
you
think
okay?
I'm fine with it. Sage told me, but I'm like, that's dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded by it.
You're not the only one.
That's it. You're good to go. And then
Let's go get Dayton. Dayton doesn't know anything though. Like you don't have to say anything to Dayton.
All right.
yeah, so that's kind of how it works.
I figured she told him by his expressionless. I'm like, why isn't he freaking out more?
Yeah, it happens. Like I say,
But there has to be something I can do. People just can't get away with this. You fucking, not you, but they accuse my son of molesting her sister. That can't be legal on any which way.
I mean,
And again, I'm not mad at you. I know you're just doing your job.
no. I mean, possibly. I mean, you might. I don't know. Talk to. You said you're hiring an attorney.
I'm
so
gonna
talk,
get an attorney.
talk to
yeah.
them. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I can't give you reporter information
Yeah.
from my side. All I can say is
There was a time in my life when me and Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
Thank you, Amelia.
the police side, then I'm pretty sure there might be something you could do, but that's going to have to be something you have to consult a lawyer about. But again, I don't know. I'm just, I'm just trying to do what I can to address the allegations.
But this is the second false report that's been made on me. And DCF, I understand, like, you guys have to protect people and for real people, like real cases.
Hello,
Hey, Dayton.
how are you doing?
Good.
Good. You ready for your nap?
He's been up all night playing video games.
All right. Well, you can go back to doing what you're doing. Have a good day. That's it. Easy enough, right? All right. You can go back inside. That's it. That was it. That was easy.
Because DC, I understand that DCF like protects people. That's not right, though. What about my rights? What about their rights?
I will,
we have
Jackie.
rights too.
So all the way around the board, it's all gonna be a police matter. When I say that, like if you were to go into looking at what you could do, it's all gonna be relative to what the police have.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss
my
Noma.
information isn't gonna, you wouldn't go after my
There was a time in my life when me and Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of. There was a time in my life when me and Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
report. So you'd have to, talk to a lawyer about that aspect.
Okay.
Thank you,
And
Pat.
just see what you can do
But-
because it wasn't molested. It was sex.
Oh my God.
full on. So it may have been molested to the cops.
There was a time in my life when me and Tony Soprano was all I ever dreamed of.
Options.
Okay.
Just because with sexual abuse, I actually called your previous worker. But with sexual abuse, we always move the kid. So
Wow.
so typically we would be moving her, you know what I'm saying? Or him. They couldn't
Wow.
stay in the same house because of their age or whatever. So because they're twins, so they're too close to age for it to be. And there's like I say,
There was a time in my life when me and Tony
options are because I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just saying that's kind of how that goes. With physical abuse, we just address it here. We kind of
there was a time.
Oh my God, the fucking echo is driving me insane. Basically, what he's saying is that if it wasn't for COVID, they would have had to remove her from the house, have her rape tested and everything. But thank God for COVID, they didn't do that.
Time in my life when me and Tony Soprano.
can or can't do. If you feel like it's false and everything like that.
Oh, I know it's false.
And I have to say that I have legal, I have to say,
I get it.
ramifications. So I just say if that's the situation where you're in, make sure you can look into your options with the.
So what's gonna happen next?
I'll get a collateral from talking to one of the investigators, or you can. I have a. You can email me.
Okay.
It's my name's Kenneth Davis. I don't have my cards because we're trying to stay out of the office. But it's.
All right, this is where I have to cut it because I give him my phone number. We don't need to give any more.
I did. But my point is that the community came together as a whole because it was wrong. So for you to sit there and say, well, they can handle it by themselves, that's not fair again. All right, well, here's the thing.
My house. This is what happens when CPS come to my house.
Fuck you are, or an attorney will find out who the fuck you are. I promise you, I will fucking sue you. I don't care if you have nothing, then you'll go to fucking jail. My son's gonna sue you too. Cops at my house in the middle of the fucking day. Susie, I'm actually not okay. Who's connected to this? Anybody? I'm gonna try. I have to find an attorney first that that's decent. I mean, I take some legwork. Maybe Susie knows a lot of lawyers. Susie, bring some lawyers' names. Thank you very much, Brian. Now you just put yourself in the fucking hot seat. Everybody said I showed it. I said was everybody that continually uses my name when I ask them not to, please stop using my name because new people come in. You never know. But now they brought in my fucking children. Now they've accused my son of something illegal. And I am so dumbfounded. Yeah, the cops didn't, but DHS did just to make sure he was fine. No, I honestly, Bad Wolf, I don't think it was Brian. Brian knows my address. Finally tracked me down. They tracked me down to allegedly a girl who called up and says that my brother just had sex with me. They're going to find you immediately. They're going to find you as soon as they can. That's what happened. It's fucking sick. Oh, I'm leaving it up. Have no doubt. See, Starlight, that's where I'm confused too, because no, I think there was only one, because even DHS said to me, when I was saying that you have to be able to do something. DHS said that if the cops told me he called, that's fine, but they can't. And it was the cop told me it was traced back to a Nicole Purdy. When we were talking to the one cop, that other cop was on the phone down the driveway and then came back and said it was a Nicole Purdy that called. And she said that she was, so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. You can know what's going on. And you guys could be next. Anybody could be next. Whoever this is, it could happen to you guys. It could happen to Diane. Well, Diane doesn't have kids. It could happen to Starlight. It could happen to Makeup Mobster. It could happen to Sarah Elizabeth. It could happen to Lisa. It could happen to anybody. Anybody. Leanne. It could happen to anyone. That's why it's out there.
There was a time
Why I just couldn't fucking. I just don't know. I don't know why people can't swat me like everyone else. Do this. That can absolutely fucking put an end to this. Know who Nicole Purdy was until everybody was telling me after. Well, he would have made a report. I don't believe he's made up a. It's Phoenix. It's a report. It is very. The guy told me it was serious. The DCF worker said it was serious. I will. Believe me, September Maria, I'm not. He's not in here saying I didn't do it. I get coronavirus in the hospital. It does seem a little odd that Brian is not here. That Brian is not coming in here saying, oh my God, Nicole did not do this. I do find that a little odd. Later. I'll let you know if I find an attorney later.
And that is what happens when you have a YouTube beef and people put out there that you shouldn't have a child, and they dog whistle you and they dog whistle their subs. This is real life, people. My kids didn't answer the door for fucking years. Sage and Phoenix had to go through this with the police department, with their school, with everything, all because of a YouTube beef, because somebody didn't like me or somebody wanted to get back at me. So they thought it was cute to call the police station and say, my name is Sage, blah, 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 and my brother just raped me. My brother just had sex with me. And someone thought that was really fucking funny. This is what happens in this fucking community. So next time you hear somebody, and like I said the other day, the only person that I know who got a call like this is Isaac from, I forgot his name again. His daughter and him got a call like this. I'm not even close to do what the fuck Isaac had done to other people. For me to warrant this kind of hate was sick. And I still don't know who it was. For all I know, it could have been Brian's wife, but it was someone that knew Brian because they knew his wife's name. So it was somebody that was trying to set up Brian. I don't think it was Brian. Brian knew my address. But am I 100% sure it wasn't? Yeah, be our guest. Thank you. Am I 100% sure it wasn't Brian? Of course not. I don't know. It could have been fucking Ale for all I know. I have no idea. My point is, these people that have been around, that were even around for this call, that know certain things you say can warrant a call and can warrant shit like this. Calling people fucking pedos that have nothing to do with anything. Enough is enough. And again, a lot of people, new people, have never heard that call. No, I was joking, Al. You were the first one that popped up. They have never heard this call. They knew nothing about this call. All they hear are these fucking assholes who turn around and like, Laura raised money for an attorney. And she didn't get an attorney. She's a scammer. That's what they're talking about. That's where I raised money for an attorney. So it only further proves that all these fucking big mouths, all these low-life trash, ghetto trash wannabes are the ones that are perpetuating this bullshit. And are the ones that are lying to people because they're so fucking insecure, and they're lying to people, running their mouth about shit they know absolutely nothing about. Queen Bee. And perpetuate lies to their audience because they're that fucked up. And will these people ever apologize for their bullshit? No, they won't. But the bottom line is, that's the call that I raised money for an attorney. Well, fucking sue me. Certainly a hell of a lot worse than Betty and fucking fake ass bitch over there. And the fucking dumbass says yesterday, oh, Laura wants to wear my skin. Bitch, I wouldn't wear your skin if you fucking skinned yourself. Get the fuck out of here. You're a low-life trash piece of shit. Trust me, I would never want to wear your skin. But the fact that you're such a fucking dick and you think that people think like that just only further proves what fucking trash you are. You lie, you're trash, or as you said today, I forgot, as you said, everyone on YouTube lies. No, bitch, not everyone on YouTube lies. Maybe in your circle they do, but no, I don't lie. Not everyone lies. But again, in your circle, I see that's what they do. But it's people like you that perpetuate this kind of shit with your fucking lies. So just keep that in mind. Going back to what I was talking about. It's really, really frustrating to hear this call again. And I cried when Sage was crying. I did. I teared up. But when I see people even if I hated Jonesin and I hated Chasing, I do not care for the jerks. But even if I hated all of them, this is what happens. This kind of call happens when you fucking sit there and call people pedos and get people all worked up because you say they're pedos. Chasing, Deets, Jonesin, and all of the jerks. Nobody's a fucking pedo. I don't know why you're running around saying they're fucking pedos. Just like I didn't fake cancer. I didn't fake chemo. Bitch, go get fucking help that you need. For real. You seriously need help. Psychological fucking help. Because your bullshit is going to spawn a call like this. That's my whole point, Amber. Totally agree. Totally agree. This shit is ridiculous and this shit needs to stop. Absolutely needs to stop. Lying about other creators needs to stop. A lot of things need to stop. But the shit that's gone on the last couple of days is beyond vile. And the lies that keep being told around this is vile. And honestly, I wasn't even going to touch it. And then I saw Willow's post. And I was like, whoa. Whoa, whoa. And then I was like, this shit's never going to stop. People do not realize how fucked up this is. People do not realize the damage that gets done. And it's absolutely fucking disgusting. And then you have all these creators that are money, 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 money. Numbers, 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 numbers. And they will sell out their motherfucking soul. They'll sell their morals. They'll sell their values as long as they get those numbers that you see all over the place. And it's fucking gross. Absolutely gross. So there's that. No, they haven't been friends for a while. She accused Chasing of being in a pedo ring. That's what she accused chasing of. It's fucking disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And it needs to stop. It really does. Thank you, Kim. It's just so disgusting. But like I said, I just wanted to show you guys. I mean, I didn't expect a 3-hour live because I didn't expect an hour and a half of Trump. But I just wanted to show you guys that this shit is real life. This is what happens. And even though this is 4 years ago, calling people pedos and part of pedo rings, that could get people fucking killed. It's not a YouTube joke. You could literally get somebody fucking killed. All you need is one sick person. One sick motherfucker out there. And I'm sure there's plenty of them. People know where Chasing lives. Chasing owns a business. She's just like me. Her address is probably fucking everywhere. So you're putting a target on her back, on her kids' backs. You don't know who's fucking watching you. And believe me, anyone that likes Tiffany Marie must have screws loose. For real. They must seriously have fucking screws loose to support this psychoticness. I agree, Crystal. And the psychoticness of what she's doing. How is she going to feel if something happens to Chasing's kids? Maybe some psycho watching Tiffany is going to fucking, see her with her autistic child and think that she's trafficking and shoot them both. You never fucking know. But that's the position you're putting these people in. Just like my kids are traumatized for life, I guarantee you could traumatize someone for life. Because you never know who's watching. Just like when I used to fight with people, I never knew who was watching. It wasn't just here or there. There are some sick people. Sick people. Same thing with Jones. And Jones's address is everywhere. Deets, not so much. The jerks, I have no idea. But I'm sure a little, conversation with what's her name? The one that got married to Fred Hill. Mrs. Hill. I can't think of her name. I'm sure she knows the jerks. I agree. Someone that does that is not for children. And I'm not even going to touch on all the lies that were told. I just want to put it out there. Ziggy, thank you. I just want to put it out there that this is what happens when you target people. And with someone like Chasing, putting a target like that on her, I'm more worried not about CPS, but about a legit target, like with a gun, like a death target. Can't run around saying people are part of a pedo ring. That's not a fucking joke. That's sick. Absolutely fucking sick. And I don't care if I like the person or not like the person. As someone who has been through this shit, I know what it's like. And it's fucking horrible. Horrible. TM is beyond psychotic. I knew she was psychotic, but I didn't think she was this psychotic. This is beyond psychotic. And it's dangerous. It's not YouTube beef. It's fucking dangerous. And it has to stop. And on that note, I'm almost at 3 hours. But I hope I got my point across. I don't know where everyone was tonight. Even most of my regulars weren't in here. So I don't know where everyone was tonight, but I really just wanted to put that out there. This might be a shocker, but I'm not a fan of Jonesin, but to put her on that list is vile. I agree. They know who's doing it, and they all have a lawsuit if they so choose. What do you mean, Amber? And honestly, I mean, I like Deets, but the other two aren't, my besties. Not my favorite people at the moment. But I'm still gonna stick up for what's right. Would they do the same for me? I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me though. I don't really care. That's who I am. And I don't do things expecting that in return. I do things because of what's right. Oh, you didn't know the caller, but they know who posted that. Absolutely. To claim that Jonesin, who's not even in the community, now you got a conspiracy going with Jonesin? Come on, give me a fucking break. This shit is ridiculous. So that's what I wanted to say on the subject. Go Trump, no. But I will find out about the merch, because I think I do need permission, though, before I can use, Make America Great Again. But as you guys know, because I've talked about it, I do have a cousin that is a top lawyer in the FTC. So I'm going to ask him. He'll know. I think if I change it a little, it's fine. I don't think I can use Trump's picture, though. But I'll figure something out. Oh, I give you guys the link. I had to leave when the film was on. Well, he's going to be president, Amber. Yeah, the fake feds, the pedo rings, and Krama is fucking ridiculous. And the two main people are dead. That's the worst part. They're dead. Let it lie. Just leave it the fuck alone. Now I'm going to get, charged with being in it. I don't know what's happened to this community. This community's got infiltrated by fucking morons. Trust me, Betty is not the worst person in the community. Believe that. All right, I'm gonna get off. I still haven't eaten dinner. I'm fucking starving. There'd be a new candidate. I'm surprised there isn't a new candidate running. Honestly, Al. I am surprised. Felons, morons. I agree. People fighting over what time they're going live and subs going. It's fucking insane. I've never seen more of this in my entire life. It's fucking gross. But before I go, we got to check Crime Online. See if there's any good stuff. Judge seals Karen Reed's jury list indefinitely due to jurors' credible safety concerns. Three-year-old autistic boy vanished from a Florida resort on Thursday, has been found dead, which is really sad. Was last seen at the Sheridan Vista Resort near Disney. Neighbors in fear. Hubby beheaded in garage. Wife in lake tied to cement chunk. Damn. Hold on. Oh, that's her stories. Missing pregnant deemed found dead on side of road. Ex-boyfriend arrested. Georgia. Gwinnett County. She was 16 and pregnant, due to give birth in September. Sad. Not too much happening. Oh, also Cluminati was on Likens last night. I don't know if you guys heard it, but it was pretty interesting because she's like, there is no now that we're not messing with Sebastian, there's really not any true crime cases. I'm like, is she fucking delusional? There's 1,000 true crime cases like every day. So maybe not one to make tons of money on, but come on now. So, all right, that's all. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. And go Trump. No. Amber and Crystal freaking out. Okay, my mom sent me a text. She must be listening. Do not try to do anything like MAGA. Do not take sides either. You will lose people, and you don't want to do that. Plus, if you are for Trump, your father will spin in his grave. Word from the mother. That's what my mom just wrote me. Mom, are you listening? So everyone say, hi, Mom. That's funny. And I wouldn't take sides. I would sell both. I would sell candles on both sides. I would sell candles on for Trump, and I would also sell candles for Biden or whoever Democratic is. I wouldn't just sell one side. That's crazy. That'd be dumb. No, I actually have it in my head. I thought like, ooh, I could get like really cool Make America Great Again and then put it right next to the Democratic candle. Like I have it all in my head of how I would do it. I just think it's funny she wrote that. She wrote that at 12:28 a.m. Oh, just a few minutes ago. She knows though, I don't vote. I have no desire to vote. I don't like any president. I don't like anybody. I do stay out of politics. But if people request something, believe me, I'm not turning down money. So if people want Trump candles, I'll be happy to make Trump candles. You know what I mean? If someone asks me for Biden candles, I make Biden candles. I'm not going to turn down money. I'm in no position to turn down money. What are you, crazy? My ass is broke. So, all right. But now I really am going to bed. You could be a political channel if you don't vote. I don't want to be a political channel. Hell no. I don't even know that much about politics to be a political channel. I just think it's interesting, though. And another thing, though, that I was thinking about, I was talking to Sage about this. Like, I always admired the generation, like my grandparents' generation, because like they've seen so much and stuff. But we have actually seen so much stuff in our lifetime. Like, even if I died tomorrow, there's so much stuff that we have seen growing up that's crazy. Like, It's unreal. So I think that's pretty awesome. But now I really am going to bed. I love you guys. Oh, I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know. Nighttime seems to be infiltrated. So maybe I'll go live during the day. I don't know. It's 133 mom. No, right now she's on a cruise. She's overseas. They were doing Amsterdam, Italy, and a couple of other places. So, but she's coming here next month. All right. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Ah.